hello out there, everybody. Thank you so much for attending my beautiful birthday today. And we're talking about the subject of unlocking your entrepreneur miracles. And we are going to be talking about miracles. And my message is to you is we will be discussing the secrets to your success, because I am a successful woman and I spoke it all. So I'm going to share the gifts and the secrets that I have received from coming into this ministry with a mission of nothing but words. And lo and behold, everything I spoke, it fell right in my lap. So I'm very excited to share my beautiful gift from God with you. So it is my birthday. And the first few minutes of this is I'm ready to hear some happy birthday. So let's get that song going here now. Come on now, how you gonna start it? Happy
birthday to you.
Happy birthday to
Happy
you.
birthday to
Happy
you.
birthday,
dear
Doris. Happy birthday to you.
Well, you know, I really appreciate that. And I'm going to hold my mimosa up and I want to do a toast to the computer because, oh, Mrs. Hannah, come on, put them bottles and glasses up there. This is welcome to the beginnings of new beginnings. Now, the reason I said that, because for 10 years, Valerie, don't you supposed to be reading my bio yet or something? When did that come?
That's your keynote speak at the end.
Okay, y'all tell me something. This is the first time, okay? You learn from the first time, okay? So I am excited to be here because 12 years ago, you guys, I had a vision. And I said to God, show me what to do, Lord, and I will do it. Well, as soon as I started speaking that, I ended up being a guest on somebody's radio show, Aurelia Michaels. That's a shout out to Aurelia because she was the beginning of my new beginning. She gave me an opportunity to go on KLAY and tell a vision that she saw me writing on Facebook about Divine Divas. She said, well, I got a radio show. I'd like to interview you. She put me on the air and I began to speak to her prophetic words. I said, did you know that everything I say, it falls right in my lap? This is what I'm telling the world. So after that, here's what I said. I said, when I realized that, I said, oh Lord, I'm getting ready to start speaking some big stuff now. The key is God loves a big thinker. Because if you want to make him laugh, you're going to have to let him take you there. So I learned this from speaking things that be not as though it were. And everything I said, I went and did it, just like the doggone criminals. You know, when they go do something, they get what they want, but they end up in prison, don't they? Well, lo and behold, I flipped the switch and did the opposite. And everything I spoke, God did it. I says, oh, my Lord, it's time to go tell somebody this. So welcome aboard. Here it is 12 years later from being on the radio, speaking and telling people a story that had not even happened. And I am going to share with you later how 61 miracles made a difference in my life. So everybody that want to run with us in this company, I'm going to share every vision God shared with me. And then that's going to give you an opportunity to go and share what you got. And we're going to meet each other in the middle. I'm looking for people to be a part of this ministry. Whatever your ideas are, bring them in. Because whatever you do, we getting ready to be blessed. Because it is time to start giving back to the world. Y'all know I'm a publishing author. I know it's probably be in my bio. But anyway, I just want you to know if you want to read a powerful story, It is going to move your heart because it is my true story. I was born and raised in Mississippi. I've been through racism, everything in the world. And here God sending me back. And the one that was racist getting ready to start loving, and we're getting ready to start doing everything out of each other's hands. That's what God is doing, for the fact that this is part of the mission. So all of my vision is going back to Mississippi, just as I spoke in my 61 miracles. From 2012 until now, I wrote down miracles every year to share with you. And I will be sharing that information later. So we are recording, so no worries. If you miss it, you can get it later. But I am honored to have each of you here celebrating a victory with me, my birthday, because around my birthday, that's when I got my business license. So everything fell right there together. So I'm excited about this. I'm excited to hear what others have to say, because all of us are in this together. We are all on a mission to make a difference. Why can't we do it together? And we will be doing it through events. People are going to come. I see arenas filled with people. I see a jet airplane. Oh, yes, I do. I see it all. And all things are possible when you believe. We all know that. So now we're going to move on.
Hi, everybody. I'm Coach Valley Girl. Yes, Valerie L. Harrison. I, too, am going to share my screen, and I'm going to talk really fast because we are on a time limit. So, we only have a certain amount of time. So if you didn't get it, well, at least you know this is recorded, and we'll get going. Let me go ahead and share this screen. Hold on one moment while I do that and go back here, share screen and do this. And then I gotta do all kinds of things. Okay. Oops, I forgot to already have it ready. All right. So let's see. I'm going to be talking, since Doris is going to be talking about the 61 miracles that she's got, I'm going to play off of the miracles and talk about the miracle of time freedom. I am a time freedom coach, and I teach entrepreneurs on how to be effective, like she said in the bio, on social media, using email marketing, systemizing and automating your business and things like that in the digital marketing realm, so you can get off the computer. I show up every day on the computer, but I'm not on the computer every day. That's what I mean. I can walk away from my business for days, weeks, and even in 3 months, which I do every year, an entire summer, and it still runs like clockwork every day. So I'm talking about time freedom and what that means and how to balance your work, your passion, and your purpose. So that's what I'm going to go through real quick. Here's the quick agenda that I'm going to talk about: the importance of time balance, strategies for achieving time freedom, overcoming challenges, aligning your business goals with purpose. My story, it's a success in a way, but it isn't. It's a failure because I failed and then succeeded, and still I'm on that journey. And then I'll close with some closing remarks. But this is me, Coach Valley Girl. That's my husband. Those are my 3 kids at the top, and that's my grandson at the bottom. And I put Seattle because nobody knows the city I live in, around the world. I say Bremerton, they're like, what? What's that? So I just put Seattle because everybody, if you don't know where Seattle is, then I don't know what to tell you. I can't help you no more. Let's see. Oops, I went the wrong way. Sorry. Other way. Okay. These are some of the accomplishments that I'm really proud of. I'm on the Lineable as well, and I've got the local Main Street. I have another small business of the year for 2020, but I couldn't find a little thing. I don't know what file I put it in. I have a Friday Focus, which is a YouTube series I do twice a month. It's going to be actually a podcast coming up next year on Spotify. So I'll have it on YouTube and on Spotify. So I'm excited about that. My AIM strategy system is my #1 program where I teach business owners how to use just 3 types of social media posts to attract, inform, and motivate your ideal audience to work with you. So that's proprietary. You can try to copy it, but it won't be the same because that's mine. I thought of it. And I'm also very honored to be one of the business leaders in the Meta Boost Leaders Network, which is Meta actually pays for a trip for about a couple hundred business owners from across the United States. They send us to Washington, D.C. to speak to our congressmen and women on how digital world affects small businesses with increase in ad spends and some other things. So I am very proud. That's a group of the ladies here from the Pacific Northwest where we were just there last May. They do this every May. And we have also been featured in the top magazines and news media outlets with an article about my experience in Washington, D.C., talking to our local congressmen and women and why Meta is doing this and things like that. So I don't know how you feel about Facebook and Meta and Mark Zuckerberg, but I personally loved it. It's done nothing but wonders for my business, but that's another story. Let's move on, shall we? Okay. So what I want to talk about is the importance of balance. Achieving balance in our lives is crucial for both your personal and well-being and your business success. When you find harmony between your business goals and your personal purpose, you can unlock your true potential. This balance not only reduces stress, but enhances creativity and productivity. Studies actually show that entrepreneurs who maintain a balanced approach to life and challenges, they do way better than people who just work, work, work. You've heard that saying, what is it? Was it all work and no play makes Jack a doughboy or whatever, or Jane a dull girl? It's true. You don't want to be, I know that we're passionate about our businesses and what we do and how we serve our community, but you don't want to be so involved in it you forget about your family, your friends, yourself. So you have to find that perfect balance to make it all work out. And I'm all about, all I ever want to do is spend time with my husband and my kids, but I love my job as well. So I have to make sure that I have time for both, all of it, and still be a great business owner, also be great for my husband, myself, and my kids. Okay, let's move on to the next one. All right, so here's some strategies that I came up with to achieving time freedom. Defining when you're on and when you're off of work, that is huge. And I know as entrepreneurs, it is hard to turn to clock out. I mean, we don't clock in, but you know what I mean? It's hard to stop, especially when you're in a groove of creating a new program or something, and you're working with something and you just want to keep going. I believe me, I've done it 1,000 times over and over again, but I don't do it anymore. Just like I have to treat my business as I would when I worked in corporate retail. I worked in corporate for 28 years and I clock in, I clock out. And you have to do your business the same way. You have to have a start and an end time. And like I said, I know you're passionate. You want to keep going and things are flowing and the creative juices are going and you want to make sure that you don't you finish what you started, but you have to create a stopping point for your business. You just do. You need to learn how to prioritize your task. And the Eisenhower matrix is a great way to do that. I'm not going to get into all that, but if you want to know more, just ask me of how that works. I actually use that system in my own personal business to help me stay on track, on task, and on time, and not overdo my work hours that go into my personal hours. And this is a big one for me, which I'm going to dig into a little bit more later, is outsourcing and delegation. For the longest time, I had a problem with not delegating when I worked in corporate retail because I had the mentality that if it doesn't get done by me, it's not going to get done right. So I had to do that. I'm sorry, my husband just came in. So I had to do that the right way. And then outsourcing, I didn't even know about outsourcing when I first started my business. I figured, why would I pay somebody to do these different things in my business when I can just learn how to do it myself and keep all the money? That's how my mentality was. So it was a definite mind shift change that I had to come up with, that I had to deal with and learn. And then leveraging technology to systemize and automate repetitive tasks. I have to tell you that 85% of my business is systemized and automated. That's why I can go away. If my husband says, let's go away for the weekend or let's go away for 2 weeks or something like that, I can do that and not have to worry. My business still runs. I've got all these things in place. You can watch a webinar, you can get coached by me without me actually having to be there. And I'll tell you it's freeing to have that kind of time that I can do whatever I want in my personal life or do more income producing tasks in my own business. So it's just learning how to do that so that you can free up the time to do whatever it is you want to do. Let's see. Okay. And overcoming challenges. Every entrepreneur faces challenges on the path to time freedom. It's important to identify those obstacles early on. Common challenges include time wasting habits. I know you have them. I've had them. Perfectionism. That's another one. That was a huge problem of mine. And the fear of letting go of responsibility, letting go of control of your business to other people. It's not that you're letting go of control, you're letting go of things that you really don't need to do in your business on a daily basis. it is worth it to you to outsource or hire a team to take care of those other tasks that you don't need to. But it's hard to do that for some people. They feel, that's their baby, that their business is their baby. They thought of it, they created it, they built it up, and to let other people take control of certain tasks, that's hard. But it's embracing a growth mindset that will allow you to change and deal with these challenges that come up. Let's see. So I got this out the way and move you guys out the way. There we go. Aligning your business goals with your personal purposes is to truly achieve time freedom. It's crucial to align your business goals with your personal purpose. Start by understanding your core values. What drives you? What are you passionate about? And then evaluate whether your business strategies reflect those same values. When your business goals are in sync with your purpose, you'll find that work becomes more enjoyable, motivating, but also attracts clients and customers who resonate with your mission, creating a stronger connection and loyalty. Really quick, this is what I wanted to share the difference. This was me when I was working corporate retail. This is at one of my stores that I manage. I don't look very happy because I'm not. So I was working 60 hours a week, nonstop, every day, night, weekends, holidays. I had to ask permission to take a day off or to go pick up my sick kid. And sometimes I got told no, and I didn't like that. And my life was really I didn't know how to delegate back then. I was trying to start a business at the same time as I'm working this crazy corporate retail schedule and career. My health was declining and I had zero time freedom. And then even when I started my business, I started back in 2012, actually 13 years coming up in February. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have a coach or I'm gonna start a business. I did what Dr. P said. I went and got me a piece of paper and I was like, yeah, look at me. I have a certificate. I'm an LLC. Yeah, I'm important. It didn't do nothing. It didn't work. I was going like this as soon as I started. No coach, no time freedom. This was the beginning of my entrepreneurship. But I learned. I actually took time off from my business. I took a year off to figure out what the heck I was doing because for the first 3 years, I made this much money. But yet I had a ton of clients. How is that even possible? I don't even know. But I learned. The first thing I did was I left retail for good. I said, see you later. Actually, he gave me an ultimatum and I told him he can take his, what, and put it, where. And then I hired a coach, a business coach, a good one who got me on track. And like Doris, there's a plan, there's steps, there's strategies, there's a framework, there's a blueprint to getting things done the right way. And then I learned to outsource and outsource perfectly. I actually created an outsourcing formula. I'm not going to share that all up in here because there's too much to do, but to outsource the right way where it can make you money and give you more time back in your day. We all get 24 hours in a day. You don't want to waste that. You want to use it purposefully. So you want to outsource purposefully. And I learned how to systemize and automate my business. Like I just told you, 85% of it is automated. I don't have to do too much of anything unless it's something I truly want to do in my business. And I've achieved time freedom. I am every summer, like I said, I take a month, maybe two off, and throughout the year, I'm gone 3-4 days during each month because I can and I want to. And my husband's getting retired from his government job, so we're traveling a lot more. So I wanted to be sure that I'm able to do that and not stuck in my business just because I'm a business owner. Let's see. So concluding, as I conclude, let's recap the key points. Time freedom is essential for fulfilling life and business. We explored the importance of balance, practical strategies, and how to achieve it, aligning with your goals, your purpose, and how it can enhance your journey. I encourage all of you to take some kind of action today. I offer a 30-minute complimentary solution session, is what I call it. And with that, you'll actually get a detailed analysis of what I think you should be doing, shouldn't be doing, what's working, what's not. I'll look at your website, your social media, your email, your business plan, things like that, and kind of just give you a gist of how I feel, where I think you should go. Or, if you're doing great, maybe let's level it up a little bit more to do that. And I think that's it. Yes, that's it. That's my information. I'm on everything. All you got to do is type in VerisM, hashtag VerisM. If you type in hashtag VerisM, VARRIS, and M in Google, every single thing that I'm on will pop up, which is LinkedIn, Alignable, Pinterest, Facebook, YouTube, X, I'm just all over the place. I spend most of my time on Facebook because that's where my community is on Facebook. So type in my name, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. I'm here for you anytime. That's it. I'm done. Does anybody have any questions or comments? I know that was fast.
I do have a question. It's,
Yes.
it's the same one that I asked Dr. P. What were your natural talents as a child?
To believe it or not this. Nothing like this. I have a great skill for design. I've actually always wanted to be an architect, and I still do kind of. And I actually have architect software on my computer right now, and I design homes for fun. I started building with those little Lincoln blocks. I don't know if anybody remembers the little Lincoln logs.
Mhm.
I would build floor plans on my floor and build rooms and design that. And then I went to paper. And then in high school, I took drafting, and in college, I took architect. And I drive around looking at houses. My mom used to take me to, what do you call it? The new homes where they have the models and stuff.
Mhm.
We would just go there just so I can see the layout and how I can make it better or different. So I really have an architectural spirit, and it's something I still wouldn't mind doing. But I love what I do now. But that has been something that I've always found fascinating. And in photography, I wanted to work for National Geographic. I love taking pictures. I don't share that with a lot of people, but I'm really good at taking pictures. I just kind of keep it to myself, something that I do on the side. But I don't know. I found my way with helping people show up online, and I really love what I do now. But still an architect at heart. Thank you, though. Thank you for that.
Wow, that's awesome, Valerie. I learned a lot about you. Hi, Ruth. Well, anyway, I want to say something to Valerie a minute. Y'all done with your questions? Because now it's time for me to brag. Anybody
There you
got
go.
any more questions? No?
There you
Everybody's done? Well, this is my time to let Valerie's light shine. Now, I'm going to tell you a story about Valerie. Valerie, I knew you over 10 years ago, did I not? We
Yes.
met at another women's function.
Polka
You were
dot.
the speaker. And
Yeah.
anywhere there's some beautiful women, Miss Doris gonna get in there and make some connections. So I met you there. And then you got connected. You were in a network group, which we are going to be expanding those around the world, because it's time for a community to come together. And how are we going to do it? By bringing them in so they can come together. But anyway, you hooked me up with the network group, Mary West Network. And we took pictures years ago, because I used to go with y'all to these events before the pandemic, because before the pandemic, everybody was in each other's faces. So I have a picture of you back in the day when we had just met. We had a meeting at Starbucks, and you were baby brand new in your business, and so was I. But in that picture, you and I said to you under that caption that you are going to be my business partner. Now, that was back 10 years ago that I said that. So the point is when I say something, y'all better be careful, because Miss Doris is getting ready to make it happen. I spoke 10 years ago and said you were going to be my business partner. And 10 years later, what happened? And here we are. So this message today, when I get ready to close, we have the power to speak whatever we want. And that's what we're getting ready to teach people. Let's get the minds out of the gutter. Let's start thinking of other things, good things where we can give back to others. And believe you me, that's where our reward is. That's what God is looking for today in his people. So I'm excited to know you. I have many of ideas right now, because you and I are partners, and I have ideas. As soon as we get a chance and can breathe again, you and I want to share these powerful ideas with you, and and whatever we do, remember this: you will be blessed. That's all I got to say. We will come to an agreement, and there will always be contracts, because when you're doing, Dr. P mentioned them earlier, I like it because she shared with me that there are other ways to make money. You can hire people or whatever, but you can also do contracts. So basically of this business would be a lot of contract. So Valerie, thank you so much for being a partner. And when we ever get a chance to talk, we got some big ideas to run by you.
All
So,
right. So thank you. Thank you all for having me. I'll be speaking again tomorrow on something different though.
oh, great, great. Okay. So we're done with Valerie.
All
And
right.
now we have the beautiful Madonna B. Hannah. And you are going to read the bio about.
I am. All right, everybody, let's welcome Madonna B. Hannah. Madonna's motto is living life agelessly is liberating, and it's never too late to soar for more because anything is possible. I like that motto.
Mhm.
Madonna Beauclair Hannah, the fast fashionista, is a 2023 National Senior Games gold medalist and a 10 times Washington State Senior Games gold medalist. She recently set a new Washington State Senior Games 50-meter record that stood for 15 years. Wow. Her late in life, unexpected amateur competitive sprinting journey was featured on the Today Show, National Public Radio, All Things Considered, and King 5 News, and the featured cover story for various magazine publications. Madonna is also a freelance writer for AARP online publication, The Ethel. Hannah is also a popular podcast guest. Additionally, Madonna is a motivational speaker, actress, playwright, and a retired award-winning fashion marketing educator. Her children's book, Mommy, Why Are My Eyes So Big, received the 2003 Outstanding Author Award from Washington's Organization for Reading. Everybody, please put your hands together for Madonna B. Hannah.
Yay! Welcome, Mrs. Hannah.
Here we go. Here we go. I'm the motivational speaker here, and I'm so grateful to have this opportunity to invite you all to aspire higher by activating your unique Pebble powers. Those are the powers that will lead you to unlocking your entrepreneurial miracles. Now, I've already heard some miraculous stories from Valerie and Dr. P and of course Doris. So let's kind of, as someone said, go to another level. I'll start by sharing my favorite Tyler Perry quote. Sometimes we need to supply ourselves with the permission, nourishment, and attention to grow even greater. We all know that Tyler Perry knows how to grow greater. But I want to ask you, what will you give yourself permission to pursue? What dreams and talents will you nourish? How will you allow yourself to grow greater? I suggest by activating your Pebble powers. They are the natural abilities and skills that God has blessed us all with. Now, I did ask you, Valerie, and I did ask you, Dr. P, as a child, what skills were you born with that you naturally demonstrated? Because God has blessed us all with natural abilities and talents. Now, I'm going to share 3 quick examples of the power of the Pebble. The first is starting with the divine diva herself, Doris. She activated her Pebble by reaching out. The momentum of her ripples brought us together this evening so that we can share, because I've been writing notes myself, collaborate, which is what Doris is talking about, and learn so that we can aspire higher. Second, myself as an example, a former retail executive, Valerie, darling, I was feeling you when you were talking about the corporate retail thing. Yes. My experience goes to downtown Boston, major department store in the 70s. Oh, yeah. And as a vocational instructor, I activated my Pebble power of salesmanship and customer service. And the momentum of those pebbles empowered my fashion students to aspire higher by teaching them to be exceptional employees day one and to have the confidence to own their own successful businesses. My third example is a 30-year-old millennial who for the past 5 years has activated his Pebble power as my track coach. I have aspired higher by the momentum of the ripples created by his coaching expertise and his experience as a world-class sprinter. Now, because of our collaboration, and Doris, that's what you want us all to do here, to collaborate, I recently set a Washington State senior game record that stood, 50-meter record, that stood for 15 years. Now, God has invested in all of us, and we are to be tossed into a smooth, calm pond, or any watery surface to create ongoing ripples of opportunities. Our abilities are not for us to hoard or hide, because sometimes people hide their talents. They don't want to share, or they hoard them. Well, I'm not going to share because I want all of this for me. No, they're meant to inspire, motivate, and empower others toward their dreams and goals. And that's what we've been listening to this evening so eloquently from Valerie and from Dr. P. Now, I'm just going to challenge you a little bit to do some self-evaluation, or if you have the courage, to ask some folks that will tell you the truth about yourself. I've got about 13 items here that I'll go through quickly. Number one, why do you really want to go into business? Please don't say it's because I want to be a boss. I want to be in control. I want to make a lot of money. Yeah, there's more to it than that. Two, don't look at the success of others and think that you're going to have that same success when you start your business. And Dr. P, you did touch on that because people, they look at other people and they see that success and they go, yeah, that's going to be me. But what they don't realize they don't realize what they're looking at, and they don't realize what they haven't seen, which is the daily grind, the mistakes, the failures, the sacrifices. Valerie, you brought that up about the mistakes that you've made, I believe, and also the setbacks. I know from personal experience that setbacks are the fuel that ignite your desire to aspire higher. They are the test of your perseverance, persistence, and your resilience. And we've heard those words earlier this evening. For example, severely rupturing my Achilles in 2014 while racing was a setback. That setback was just a setup for me to persevere, to aspire higher. 3, how patient are you? We've heard earlier about taking small steps to success. And you have to have patience for that because nothing happens overnight. Sometimes you hear celebrities or business people say, well, it was, or they're referred to as, well, it was a meteoric rise. It happened overnight. No, it did not, and people, don't really understand that it doesn't happen overnight. It took me 12 years to win my first national gold medal, and it took me 13 years to set a new state record. 4, when you plant seeds of possibilities, you are planting seeds of opportunity. Remember, you're building the fortitude to move forward step by step. And when you plant seeds, you know how long it takes a seed to take root and grow. Okay, so it's going to take time. 5, how often have you begun a project or you commit yourself to an organization or to a person, and in the beginning, you're all excited, and then doubt slips in, and then things get tough, and then you quit? Yeah. That breakthrough might have been just around the corner, but you'll never know because you quit. 6, have you clarified your intentions, motives, and goals? Doris, it sounded like you had these ideas, but Dr. P said, yeah, we gotta define. We've got to clarify what you want to do so you're not wasting time, which is what Valerie was talking about. The next, number 7, will you accept advice and constructive criticism from knowledgeable mentors? I know that those of you who are in the advice business, there's nothing worse than you taking your time and giving people a plan, a good plan for them, and they don't pull the trigger. Or they do something else. Like, well, you know, I'm going to do what I want to do. And then, and then they're not as successful as they had pictured themselves to be. And number 8, this is a quote from Oprah. The difference between talent and success is consistency. You can be very talented, but you've got to be consistent because there's a daily grind. There's that long haul. Number 9, are you responsible enough to hold yourself accountable? Dr. P, you touched on that. 10, how ethical are you? How trustworthy? How's your integrity? 11, dealing with the public can be challenging. Can you be kind? Can you be patient and respectful to everyone, whether you are having a good day or not? That's a big one, especially when you want to go into business. Number 12, do you want to go in alone or do you want a partnership? And my final one, 13, how willing are you in investing in yourself in some of these areas? Managing time, people, and resources, selling, customer service, communicating verbally and in a written form, marketing, basic accounting. Yes, you may have an accountant, but you need to have a basic knowledge yourself so you know what's happening. Inventory procedures, identifying your target customers and potential appropriate vendors. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. So finally, I'm just asking again, how will you allow yourself to grow greater, to aspire higher by activating your Pebble power, to build your entrepreneurial endeavors that will unlock your entrepreneurial miracles? God bless you and God bless your journey.
And amen, amen, amen. Woo, that was good. Oh, I'm so excited. I can see right now where all of this is going. You are a great motivational speaker. You and me got plans, Mrs. Hannah. And before we go into questions, anybody got some questions? Because, you know, I got to say something about everybody. Because these listeners that's out here listening, That's going to plant seeds in their hearts to say, I want to grow with them. Okay, so anybody got any questions right quick?
I would just answer Madonna the same question she asked me and Valerie.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Well, as a child, and this was part of my Today Show interview. As a 5-year-old, I didn't know what I was doing, but I was coordinating my parents' clothing. I was reorganizing their shoes and with my mother handbags. I was inspecting the quality of the garments, and I was also rearranging canned goods in the pantry and redesigning labels that would fall off, and then my mother wouldn't know what was in the can. And I was also coming up with marketing and sales strategies and sharing them with my stuffed animals and my dolls. And I was always giving fashion tips to people. And when I watched cartoons and looked at comic strips, I was always annoyed because no one ever changed their clothes or their hairstyles. And if you can picture me as a 5- and 6-year-old pondering, why do Wilma and Betty always have to wear their hair the same way? Why?
Wait, why are you going
Betty
after
was in the
Wilma and Betty?
comic
Come on.
strips, always wearing the same clothes. I mean, it bothered me as a child. So little did I know that I was going to become a retail executive at one of the largest department stores in New England, and then eventually work for a women's apparel, a national women's apparel manufacturer in the design division, and then go on to teach. That the teaching wasn't in my plan until I came here to Washington. And then little did I know I would be planning fashion shows, and even fashion shows for people with disabilities. So there you go. And then the running, that didn't hit me until the age of 57, because I had absolutely no track and field experience. And that is part of my story as to why I have been interviewed by various publications and have become a popular podcast guest. So hopefully that answered your question.
It does. I feel you, but Wilma and Betty, sunshine, rainfall, they dirty, they clean. That hair never move, man. I'm like, shoot, I want hair like that. Don't move at all. Just stayed right there, But thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for asking. Thank you for asking.
Wow. I am really, really pleased that I know all of you. You know what? You guys are superstars. That's really impressive to me that God done brought some powerful people in my space. I feel very honored. I really do. And this is, I've been knowing Mrs. Hannah. I call her Mrs. Hannah because she was John's teacher back in the day when she was teaching retail merchandise. And my husband, she taught him how to dress. You're talking about a sharp shooter. Woo, he was good looking and could wear some fine clothes, but he got all of that from your training. So that was a blessing. And I've been knowing Mrs. Hannah for over almost 30 years, you guys. We disappeared over the years after John and I got married. And it is amazing how people coming back to me that has been gone for years, and they are coming back for a reason. So when I met all of you in the beginning, it was for a reason anyway. Mrs. Hannah can put on a cold-blooded fashion show. So Mrs. Hannah, we got plenty of ideas. All you got to do is we just come through it, and you leave the advertising to me. We all going to do our part, but I would definitely, the next thing we want to do, we need to have people in front of us. So that's the next step. We are going to do something to bring community to us. because I heard a gentleman say on TV, the only way we're going to heal the world is we got to come together as a community. And I know when we go out and expose what we're doing, the people are going to come. So I am very grateful to know you, Mrs. Hannah, because you got so many ideas. And I know that you are here with all this beautiful energy at I don't know how old you are, but I'm 67 today. But you're older than I am, and you out there running and got a smooth, slender body. Can you imagine the people we gonna help to tell them your story?
And I just turned 71 in September. And so I broke the Washington State record for women 70 to 74 in the 50 meters. Yes, and it stood for 15 years. And thank you.
Good for you. That's amazing and a great example. And I just want us to know before we bring on beautiful Ruth, I just want everybody to know that we are all on here at a particular age. Did you know we're the last generation to be able to give back? So welcome aboard of changing, making a difference in the world. And do you guys know, so cool, I've trademarked the D, and Carlos and Friends is already trademarked. We can go anywhere in the world. But you know, that's going to take some money now. You got to make money to do that. But that's in the future. So I'm very excited about that. And each of you on here, you're here for a reason. I know you will be riding on this train with us. You don't know it yet, but I do. I know everything because, see, I can see into the future a little bit. And if I speak it, by golly, God's getting ready to do it. And I done said it. So now, anybody else have any questions before we bring Ruth on? No question. Okay. So Ruth, Valerie is going to introduce you.
All right. All right, Ruth. Now, I hope I get this right. Please correct me if I get your name wrong. So it's Ruth Villa. Is it Villarreal? I'm messing it up.
Okay. Villarreal. That's
Villarreal. Okay.
The English way to say it.
Okay, Villarreal. Got it. I want to say it right. Okay, let me start. So Ruth Villarreal Rose, a vibrant 67-year-old Hispanic woman, was born in Mercedes, Texas, and moved with her family to Salinas, California at the tender age of 2.5. Growing up as the only girl among 4 brothers, Ruth learned value of hard work early on as her parents toiled in the strawberry field full time. After school, they would join them, instilling in them a strong work ethic that would guide her through her life. Ruth attended Alisal High School, did I say it right? High school, and later pursued her education at Hartnell College for 2 years. At 26, she welcomed her first child, Michael, who was born with disabilities resulting from the birth process and now lives with cerebral palsy and developmental delays. It was through their sons that Ruth formed a meaningful connection with Doris, leading to a lasting friendship. In March 2020, when COVID-19 forced the shutdown of an in-person centers, Ruth and Doris transitioned to an online program for a year until funding was unexpectedly pulled. Recognizing the need for continued engagement and support for her son and others like him, Ruth took the initiative to create her own online program, meeting twice a week online and hosting an in-person activity once a month. She founded Our Gang, a testament to her dedication and passion for making a difference in the lives of individuals with disabilities. Everybody, please put your hands together for Ruth Rose.
Yay, Ruth. Welcome, Ruth. Thank you for
Thank
coming
you.
to my birthday party.
Yes, happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
I apologize for being late. I had, of course, a doctor's appointment with my son. But I did want to show a picture. This is my son, Michael.
Michael. Oh, handsome Michael. He's
And
so kind.
yes.
Look at him.
And so my life and everything is a little different than the other people on here. Mine is it's not a career that I've done. And to be honest, in the beginning, it's not a career I would have actually chosen to do, but through God's wisdom, he allowed me to be on this journey. And mine is not one to, oh, what's a good word? It's not like the one lady said, to make money, or it's not to do anything like that. So just real brief, there's several things that I think everybody can glean from this. Is first, and everybody has recognized this, you have to have a need. There's a need.
Amen.
And when the pandemic shut down our son's program, they went online, and for about a year and a half or so, they did that. Well, then they decided to cut the funding for that. And it devastated everybody because we do not live in city limits. And so the shuttle does not come out to where I live. So I have to provide transportation for my son wherever he needs to go. Well, there is a program in downtown Tacoma, but I was not about to drive him to downtown Tacoma for 4 hours and then have to turn around and drive and pick him back up, as I also care for my 92-year-old mother. So I pondered the question, what am I going to do? I cannot allow my son and his friends to just sit around and rot the rest of their lives doing nothing. So then that's when God put on my heart, Ruth, you can do this. And I'm like, okay, Lord, I don't know, but sure. So I had, before the program totally shut down, I had talked with the gentleman who was doing it and saying, hey, I'm going to do this. Once this program stops, I want to start my own, because my son, and I know others, need this. So there was a need. Okay. And that's the first and foremost, like when you're starting your own business and everything, you have to make sure, is there a need for what you're going to do? And God can use you in whatever position you're in. And that's one thing I've learned. So yes, there was a need, not only for my child, but for numerous other people too. And then, so then I decided, okay, so this is what we're going to do. And I did have some help. And even now I do have some help. I have another lady that if I have to be something or whatever, she will take over for me. But then, so with that, you develop a love for it. So again, first there has to be a need, and then you have to get a love for what you're doing. And I do love what I'm doing. We meet twice a week, Tuesday, Thursday from 11 to 12. It's all that's all online. And I found platforms where it doesn't cost me anything. So it doesn't cost them anything to attend. And we do things like play bingo, and we have karaoke, and just something fun for them. And they all look forward to this. And so first you have, like I said, the need, and then the love, and then it can become your passion. And that's what it's become with me. It's become my passion to do this. Is it a lot of work? Yes, because I have to plan out different activities every Tuesday, Thursday. And like October, there was 5 of them. So now I got to come up with extra things. And I'm constantly, are the kids getting boards? Or, I've got to think of new things. And then, and like Doris said, we're like what was said, once a month, we have an in-person activity. So I have that. And then I have to come up with things for us to do with the activities. And then I have to plan all that. And in September, we had a fair, which my son loves going to the fair, in-person activity at the fair. And here was a big group of us at the fair. And you can see here, this was Carolyn Frankie's sister. Anyway, you can see quite a few people that came out. And generally, we have we can have like 16 people on program at the time. And then when we meet in person, then they have their caregivers, and some of the caregivers have family. So we can generally have 35 to 40 people come out just for an in-person activity. So what I've done is, so we did that for September. This month for October, we met at Godfather's Pizza, and we all dressed up in costumes and had a fun time. And again, there was like 43 people there. And then for November, we're going to a movie. We always go to a movie a couple times a year. And then for December, that's the big one because it's Christmas. I've hired an Elvis impersonator to come and sing for our Christmas party. And also a huge blessing. I had gone to a restaurant to eat on Tuesday, and I was sharing with the lady, because I also planned my church's Christmas party and our church's ladies' Christmas party. And I was trying to figure out catering, and it was BJ's restaurant on South Hill in Puyallup. I told him I'd give him a shout out. And I was explaining about our children's program, our gang, I call it. And the lady offered to cater it for free. And so she is going to do 10 large pizzas, which they're like almost $20 a piece. And then they have their little pizookies, and she's going to give us 60 pizookies. So we're looking at like $600 to $650 in food that they're going to be donating for our gang. And that's just how God can bless us. But that's another way to reach out to the community and we're getting blessed through them. And I had told him that we would give them a shout out. But she recognized the passion I have for them. So those are things that as people grow their business, if their clients can see that there's a love and a passion for what they're doing, and that they truly believe in that, people will see that, and they'll go, okay, yeah, boy, that person really believes and is just grabbing on to what they're doing, no matter what position you're in, no matter what business you're in. If your clients see that within you and see that it's genuine, because people can see through facades, and you can only keep up a facade for so long. You can fool some people. What is it? You can fool some people some of the time, but you can't fool all the people all the time. So it's going to come out. So that's, again, mine's a little bit different. Mine's definitely a nonprofit because we don't charge them. Some of these, we have some that are in group homes and they don't have any money. And so some of our the caretakers and parents, we chip in some money, and I have a little stash put away to help pay for things, for like if they come to the movies and they don't have any money to come to the movies, we'll pay for those. And that's just God allowing us to bless them. And but I thank Doris for allowing me to come on. I was like, why would she want me? Because all these are professional people, and I've not worked outside the home since my son was born, and he'll be 42 years old, because he's been my full-time job for all these years. But yeah, so those are out of, if you're to glean anything from what I've said, is the three things. Yeah, there's a need, a love, and then a passion. So thank you very much. And again, Doris, happy birthday.
Thank you. And Ruth, that was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And you are right. Where there's a need, and this world got plenty of needs. That's why under this umbrella, we are going to go out and find these people, and we're going to bless them with knowledge. And God is the one that's going to make that knowledge grow. Yes, Ruth, you work with Carlos as part of our gang. But what I have, Carlos has a foundation all to itself. But God brought Ruth in my life years ago for a reason. And now we're seeing why all of us are here together, because it's part of the plan. I would love to work with Ruth, with our gang, and Carlos and friends. Okay, put them ideas together. And whatever we do, Ruth, you and I both are nonprofit. We will be blessing each other as we do this. And I can't wait to get something big enough, because your son, Michael, is such a personable young man, and he can just get people's love. He brings people
Oh,
to the Lord,
yeah.
all of the above. He says to me, him and Carlos used to go to that day center she's talking about, and a bus used to come and get him. And I would always go out on the bus, because I'm an entertainer. I go out and get on the bus and talk to the people. And Michael met me. And now that I know him, he said, Doris, aren't you glad I asked for your phone number? Because at first he would call me and invite me to things. I said, I ain't gonna go. Finally, I gave in, and I'm like, Lord, this was a blessing that I met Michael, because there is a need. There's a need for the disabled community.
Absolutely.
I have big plans. When God brings all of the blessings, because I done spoke them all. Now I'm just waiting on him to fulfill the destiny of what the words. We are going to go around the world, Ruth. The world needs our gang. Can you imagine when you put all them disabled and elderly people together and put them on the front line? I truly believe they're going to change the dynamics of the people that's in front
Oh,
of
yeah.
them. I appreciate you sharing that about your life. Anybody got any questions?
Not a question, is more of a comment.
Okay.
Ruth, you are a
Yes.
business. You are a business. Nonprofits are just a type of business.
Mhm.
So you
Yep.
are a business. And how
Yep.
your business generates money, yes, it's going to look different than a for-profit business, but you're still a business, because
Yeah,
what you're
she
doing
will.
is going to grow, and you're going to have the same business structures, just core structures. How yours is going to look is going to be a little different to the nonprofit that sits next door to you, but you're still a business. You
Yeah.
got a place at any table where there are business owners.
Thank you.
You're a founder of a nonprofit. You typically
Yes.
call
Yes, you
yourself
are.
founders, right?
Yeah,
I just have to make it work from there.
this is just the beginning of
You
new
got the
beginnings.
foundation, Ruth. You got the foundation.
Yes,
Changing
she
the
does.
mindset. That's your first one. You are a business. You're just a nonprofit business, not a for-profit business. And
Yeah.
you continue doing what you're doing, having conversations and being genuine in conversations. I can see you getting more opportunities at what happened in BJ's. You
Yeah.
were just talking. You weren't talking with the whole, it's like, oh my gosh, I want her to give me something. You were just talking. And then out
Yeah.
of that, you got food. You're like, damn, okay, thank you. Thank
No,
you so
it's like,
much.
oh my word. I was,
So
she's like, well, do
I
you
can see you
want more? And I'm
continuing
like,
to leverage
no.
that. Yeah. You
Well,
just
thank you.
continue to leverage it,
Mhm.
You're going to
Yeah.
get better at it.
Mhm.
But remember, you are a founder of a business.
Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're
And
welcome.
you
Thank
know,
you.
you got Madonna over there that used to, she might not be able to work with us, but she can throw in some of them ideas. She's done
Yeah.
fashion shows. Can you imagine if we do that and have, I believe people would show up to come to that, because they love special people.
Oh, yeah.
Something about them. They love them.
Well, they're innocent.
Yes, they are. And they got nothing but love.
Yeah.
Nothing but love. And
There's no guile in them, nothing. And oh yeah, I would love to coordinate a fashion show. And I know our gang would love to they would just they used to do it at
They
Good Samaritan
did.
Hospital. Yeah. And my son had, when he was young, he used to do that, go to their fashion show and get dressed up and stuff. And I know our gang would love to do something like that.
And remember, they used to do talent shows, and you get the young ladies in there, the one with Down syndrome, boy, they be shaking and dancing. These people enjoyed themselves.
Oh, yeah.
And they
Yeah.
deserve that. So
Yeah,
around the world,
absolutely.
Ruth, we will collaborate and get
Okay.
our gang and Carlos and friends around the world. God is getting ready to do some big things, y'all. I
Yeah,
mean, I spoke it all, and I'm going to do it till something happens. So,
there you go.
well, thank you so much, Ruth. If
Thank
nobody have
you.
any questions, then the last few minutes belong to me. And I'm going to make it short and sweet.
Yeah,
That's
I gotta
right.
put Michael to bed at 7, so.
Okay,
I've
go
got-
ahead. Thank you, Ruth, and I'll see you.
Thank you.
What's tomorrow? Oh, no, tomorrow's Friday, isn't it? Well, we'll
Oh,
see
yes.
you next week on the Zoom.
Okay, bye.
Thank you for your
Thank
support. I
you,
appreciate it.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Wow.
All right, Doris, it's your turn. It's your turn. It's all about you. So happy birthday once again. I hope you had a special and amazing birthday today.
It's been wonderful.
Well, good. I'm glad. All right, everybody. So Doris Hughes Green is the dynamic CEO and founder of Divine Divas Ministries, LLC, where she passionately empowers individuals to break generational curses and foster personal growth. As a devoted mother to her son, Carlos Spencer, who is 43 years old and requires total care, Doris cherishes the miraculous moments they share. At the age of 32, Carlos spoke a complete sentence for the first time, uttering the words, "I don't know," in a response to a question, an incredible miracle that deepened Doris's faith and determination. For a decade, Doris hosted the New Beginnings radio show, where she inspired countless listeners with her insights and uplifting messages. And in January 2024, she transitioned from radio to focus on her new podcast, Let's Grow Together, where she continues her mission of breaking generational curses through education and motivation. An accomplished author, Doris has published 4 books, including her latest work, From Cotton Picking to Dream Weaving. Her creativity and entrepreneur spirit have led her to establish 3 additional companies over the years, allowing her to collaborate and partner with like-minded individuals. Currently, Doris is hard at work on her 5th book and a documentary that chronicles her life story, Growing Together, Breaking Generational Curses. With her unique vision and unwavering dedication, Doris Hughes Green stands as a beacon of hope and inspiration. Join us in celebrating her remarkable journey. Here she is, the one and only Doris Hughes Green.
Yay!
Happy birthday, Doris.
Welcome, everybody. I sure appreciate this. This has been a great day today, celebrating my birthday and listening to everyone with all the powerful messages that you have to offer. I know that the people that are listening, something is going to resonate in their spirit, because this is the work of the Creator. I asked for this, and I want y'all to know, when you ask, you go do the work and God will meet you in the middle. See, a lot of people be over here just to praying and praying and praying, but they ain't doing nothing. And I'm gonna give you an example. I met a man the other day. I was coming out of the grocery store, and I was talking to another lady, and I said, she says, where am I at? What am I doing? Where am I going? I said, to hell if you don't pray. You know, I like to play a game, and I use that in a little description of a game. But anyway, this gentleman was standing next to me. He says, I pray every day. He just got in on the conversation. I said, you pray? I said, well, that's good. And I said, well, you pray every day. I said, are you homeless? He said, yes. I said, well, what the heck you praying for? How come you ain't out of that as if you're praying? But see, the point is, Mrs. Hannah gave me a funny little look. But see, I tell you what I think. I speak truly, you know, and no offense. People don't get offended. In the end, they walk away happy. So I said to him, I said, well, you got drug issues? You ain't got no place. He said, well, ma'am, it's just marijuana. I said, well, that shouldn't be stopping you from it. I said, well, look. I told him about Jeanette Twitty, House of Matthews. She has a business where she works with homeless people, and she teaches them the ropes of getting off the street. Somehow she posted on Facebook and God done blessed her with a whole complex of apartments in Lakewood. And so I told him about that. I said, you need to go see this woman. I said, because she has this apartment complex and it is to support you. I said, but first of all, you ain't gonna go up in there with all kind of mess. This woman wanna teach you how to live, how to get your driver's license, to get you off the street. So I gave him her information and I gave him a business card of Carlos and Friends. And I explained to him that. I said, listen, don't come looking for me because people know I am somebody. I said, don't come looking for me now. I said, but you look out for her. And when she fix your mind to see things righteous because you're praying, I said, here's my card. Call me when you got your stuff together. And I says, God will make a millionaire out of you. You ought to see how these people change when I share that with them. I'm very excited. We got to go out here and help these people. So that is the job that I'm doing. I started this thing 12 years ago around my birthday. I wanted to get my license on my birthday, but I ended up a couple of days later. And that was 2012 when I got my license. Now, in 2012, I was also a guest on a radio show. Aurelia Michaels invited me on her show, April 2012, to tell the world about my business. And that's when I told the world that everything I speak, y'all, it's crazy, but it does. It happens. So I got on the radio. I said, well, I'm going to speak some big stuff. If anything, because the little thing I was speaking would happen. So I get off of that radio and I start speaking, just talking up some stuff. I created my own destiny, y'all. I spoke to God. I said, show me what to do, Lord. And I promise you, I will do it. I will teach your people how I will bless them. And then they got to go bless others. We're going to be paying it forward. Each person will tell another one, and each one teach one, and each one teach one, and each one tell one. And that was my philosophy. But before we go any further, I have to read a prophetic letter I got November 2012 when I started my business. This month, November, the next month, I get a letter in the mail. Does anybody know who Prophet Manasseh is? You probably have heard of him. He's a young man that goes around and just speaks prophetic words to people. And his words has never failed me. A lot of people don't like him, but his words has helped me, the messages. So he wrote me a letter in November 2012, and listen to what he said to me. He said, Dear Doris, I'm so excited to tell you in my letter to you today about the word of the Lord that he has given to me for your eyes only. I want you to be blessed and know that the miracle, there's that word, is inside you, for you are connected to the greatness of his kingdom. Read below what the Lord has to say for you in your situation. He said, this is going to be a season that God is going to begin to start allowing you to take on a lot more responsibility. You're going to find that you're good with responsibility, and even your tasks will increase. But this is going to be productive for you, even financially rewarding if you take on the task. Do not be fearful to begin to start moving in the sign. God says there is going to be a time, God says, that he's putting a hedge of protection around you, and he's protecting those that are around you, even those that are connected with you. God said that this is also going to be a season where you're going to find yourself very nurturing. And God says through your nurturing, God says that you're going to find yourself helping others, being there for others. But it is going to be greatly rewarding for you emotionally as well as financially. This is also going to be a time that you're going to find yourself being involved with a lot of community engagement types of type of things, the community support, community things, and you're going to find yourself being and facilitating things around your community. Through this, God says that you are going to find a lot of open doors, and God says, know that I, the Lord, will lead you. This is also going to be a season where you must learn balance. Balance is going to be the secret to your success. Valerie, didn't you talk about that? Sure you did. Balance and structure will be the things that will determine whether or not you will be upgraded to the next level. When you're learning how to balance your time, balancing your time and time management will be the secret and will be the key to open up doors for you. Didn't Dr. P say something about some time management? This is deep. So this is a prophetic word that is being spoken, and y'all done already said it. This is also a time when you will need to be sympathetic with others and not as judgmental. Through this, you're going to find yourself coming into new partnership. And God says, great will be the reward. Thus says the word of the Lord. So I got this letter right before I went on the radio back in November 2012. I was in the studio. I had been on the radio April, 7 months prior, because the lady put me on her radio show. And the reason Carlos had just spoke that sentence, that complete sentence. He spoke it on Easter Sunday, y'all. Mrs. Hannah, you know about John. John was sick for a long time. And for a long time, Miss Doris didn't know what was going on, okay? So that Easter Sunday, I said, we are going to go to church. I said, John, God's going to heal you today. But see, I didn't know John had secrets. I thought he was just sick from sick, but he was sick from something else. But I didn't know that. So we get ready to go to church that Sunday, and I was looking for something, and Carlos belted out the miracle. Who got the healing? Carlos got the healing. He says, I don't know, to a sentence I was asking. And it stunned me for a minute. You talking about the cutest voice. To hear that voice for the first time, it blew my mind. And I knew right then that God had given me this child for a reason. For years, I wondered, what is the purpose of him? He's so sweet. Me and John used to kiss. Well, I still kiss on him. But big old John used to kiss on him too. That's how sweet he is. He's so innocent. And it took me years, guys, to realize that my child understood. Because as a mother with no children, how would I know? All I did was talk to the boy and loved on him. And later on in years, God showed up and showed me he understands you, Doris. And now it's time to take him to another level. So during that period, after all of this 12 years of building businesses, in the 7th year, the pandemic hit and everybody was dying. I told those people, I said to the state of Washington, I said, I don't need no caregiver. Don't you be sending nobody up in here. I'll take care of my own kid, because Carlos is my story. He has to be a part of what I'm doing. So to make a long story short, the state sends a woman here. She was quite out of her mind. She was so overwhelmed. So she ended up making a mistake, and they signed them papers and gave me over $100,000 that year for taking care of Carlos myself. Along comes Dr. P, because I was green as a cucumber, sitting on that radio, just speaking something that was not as though it were. And I always said, Lord, I'm putting you out here. You got to show up, because the world is watching. Do you know all the words I spoke? They all happened. And the money came after the pandemic. For 7 years, I sat on that radio and just prophesied. But I also told the world, I said, God owns all the money. And I said, whatever I got to make this ministry where it's going, I said, he will provide. And that pandemic came. I worked for 2 hard years with nobody helping with Carlos, but that money was coming in. I was able to, then Dr. P comes up and says something. I said, yes, I need your services, but I waited on God to provide, and he showed up. And as soon as I ran out of money, I worked with Dr. P to the last drop of money. And I'm like, Lord, now what? What do I do? Y'all, I tried all kinds of things. I tried to refinance my home. That didn't go through. And I was like, Lord, what seemed to be the problem? Because I was ready to hire my people to start working. So when the loan didn't go through, I thought, now what? It took me one day laying down because that plan didn't go through. Sometimes when you have a plan and it doesn't go through, don't feel bad. Just sit back and wait. The next step that came to my spirit is God told me. Here's what he said. The first thing came to my mind was contracts. So that means I had to get out here and start promoting the vision. So that's what happened. Starting in the month of August, this last August, that's when I decided, now it's time for you to move to another level. See, you got levels, like you said, Mrs. Hannah. There are levels and tiers to your steps to success. And people got to know this. So one thing I'm excited about, out of the 12 years, in the 7th year, I opened up Carlos and Friends because I had a mentor before Dr. P, and his name was Dr. Horn. You might know him, Mrs. Hannah. I don't know. Dr. Horn. I don't forget his last name, but his first name. But anyway, Dr. Horn, I saw Dr. Horn one day and I said, ooh, Dr. Horn. I says, man, I see millions. He said, well, you need to come see me. I'll help you get that business started. Because see, if you see millions, first of all, you need a business. How else are you going to go get this million? You just can't go out here lying to people and say, join me. So anyway, he hooked me up with getting the company started. And he was the one said, you need a foundation. Don't start no business without no foundation. You need both. So I created Carlos and Friends 7 years after celebrating 7 years of Divine Divas. 5 months later, I came up with the School of Learning because I have a passion for that. I didn't get very well educated, and I'm not the only one out there that's not educated. And I had to share that with Dr. P, and she understood my feelings, and she was there with me to help me along the way. Because I'm telling you, y'all, there was a lot of things when she got on that computer, my brain was doing this. And see, I'm not the only one out there that don't know computers. It's a lot of us that don't know it. So that's when I created the School of Learning. Now I'm looking for teachers. We need to go out here and educate these people. Whatever subject, I have a curriculum. You can add to the curriculum. I have a curriculum. We are going to do this for these people. I know when we build, they will come. So after the School of Learning, then Dr. P and I sitting there putting our heads together, and she said, Darsh, you need a coaching business. And bam, just like that, Divine Divas Coaching came out. She was the one that planted that Divine Divas Coaching seed. Thank you, Dr. P. For sharing that. But yeah, now I have a coaching business. Right now, what I am doing today, I'm looking for partners. We need those places all filled. When we get the people in these positions, then God will send us out and bring in the people so we can be a servant to them. So that is the plan for our future. 2025, I will be doing events, and I want events on every corner. It's all going to be done by collaboration, It's all will be done by Zoom, or we can even do them live in person. But those are the ways that we are going to make money, by going out to the people and let the crowd come to us. Although they are going to have to pay, because free ain't good. You look at the world today that I gave them free food stamps and everything, and look at all these people. They still walking around looking like zombies. So we need to show them that there is another side, and we will let the people choose. So I want to thank you guys for coming to my birthday party. Tomorrow we will continue on from 12 to 2. We have other speakers coming on tomorrow, and we might have a whole different group of people. But at that same link, you're welcome to come back if you like. But I just want to thank each of you for being here, and you will get a copy of this to spread abroad. Give it to somebody. Didn't Zig Ziglar say, when you help enough people get where they want to be, we gonna get where we want to be? So let's share it. The more we share, the broader the horizon is going to get. Vani, is there anything you like to say? Because I want to introduce Vani to you before we go. Vani is going to be working with me because she's very pretty good on computers. She wants to teach classes in the School of Learning under my instruction. She will be signing a contract, and then I will be sending people to her. But only thing, you're going to come in my company one time, you're going to pay me one time, and after that, I'll be giving you money back. Because what we do, we're going to give it back. And we're going to bless these people and give the people an opportunity to do the same. How do you like that idea? What's going on, y'all? Let me hear some feedback. Okay, Bunny, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us who you are, how long you've been around, and I appreciate your support.
Hi
Bunny,
everyone. Valerie, I think she already know me, but my name is Ebony Tuyor. I am Miss Doris virtual assistant for maybe, I think, more than a year, almost 2 years already. We've been together. I am also a virtual assistant for almost 9 years. I've known I known Doris because of Deborah Thorne. Deborah Thorne is the woman behind all this. So she is my client for a very long time. I can say that, Mom Doris is one of the amazing person I know. I think there's a purpose why I know her. Sometimes there are things that we don't understand each other, but at the end of the day, she's still my boss. And I love her so much. And I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I know it's her birthday, and I'm always here to support her no matter what. I'm always on her side. My family, my husband is the one making videos on her, and my sister is doing her social media, and we are here to support her anything that we can help. And so happy, and I wish that God will give her success and many, many, many more birthdays to come, so that you can help a lot of people and you can share all your goodness to everyone. I love you
Amen.
always.
Thank you so much, Vonnie. I appreciate that. Well, gang, it's been nice hanging out today, and we
Yeah.
did good, didn't we, Valerie? We're on time. We did
Yeah.
very good.
Yes.
So I just want to
Awesome.
what's that, love?
I was
Somebody-
saying awesome. We stayed on
Yeah.
track.
Well,
Awesome.
tomorrow from 12 to 2, we're going to do it again. And I
Yeah.
look forward to seeing you who will be on. It might be a whole new different group, but at least out of this, Louis, he and I are going to do an appointment. I just met him. See, this is how God is getting ready to do this. There are people, I'm excited. So I know y'all tired. Go get some sleep and dream good dreams while you rest. Bye, everybody.